Good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 21st. It's 7:10 a.m. Central Time. So I haven't quite looked at too much today, so we'll just go over everything together here. So quick look on what's happening on the news docket. Government is still shut down. Maybe they open up this week. I'm not sure. We've got some earnings coming up. I think the most notable thing for me is Netflix. That's going to be after hours. So we'll see how that plays out. Um, I haven't checked out my morning juice, but I'll look at that later. U.S. Federal Reserve to cut fund rates twice more this year. So there you go. Maybe two rate cuts. So we're going to get a rate cut here in the next week, and then maybe again in December. So let's see. Um, so we'll just kind of see how that pans out. That's two things to look forward to. Maybe, yeah, can't predict the future, but price is definitely holding up for sure. As far as earnings today, so like Netflix is the big thing. Um, Everything else, not too worried about it. And for Netflix, I was looking at the options that were opened up to this week so far. Got a bearish bet, a pretty big one at 5.9 million, but super far out. All of ending 2027, so next 12 months, kind of a super far out there to be below 1300. And then for the short dated, which will be this Friday, somebody put a little under 500,000 to be over 1350, and they bought it at 1227. So I think like most of the bets were bullish, but they're kind of far out. So as far as potential surprises for earnings, I don't know that there is going to be, at least from what's happening here in the last week. I guess if we look at from the last week and a half, anything crazy? Yeah, nothing really crazy. So, and it seems to be more bearish based on the big money, but nothing short dated for earnings. So I don't know that anything crazy is going to happen, except for there's two bullish bets here, like 700K between these two for expiry this Friday. But then by the end of the month, we have smaller bets here, which are, not really much. So it's kind of interesting. So, I'm not sure if there's anything going to sway us there. For dark pools on the SPY, I haven't marked these on the chart, so I definitely need to do that. So we got a billion printed at this 66419 level. So we got this 66419. And then let's see for the Qs. Similar, we got 500 million. I mean, it's kind of not, nothing to really, it's not that it's nothing to worry about, but it's nothing super crazy. 2,500. So somebody's transacted there at 2,500. So it's not really anything in 6706. So I guess we could look at that really quick. Yeah, I'm okay. Decline this offer. So I'll put this on our chart here while we're waiting. So 67697. Where did it go? Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong chart. See, I have my coffee still kicking in. I don't know what I'm doing. Apologies for that. But I do want to make sure that this is here. All right, so we had a dark pool print here. So I'm going to lock that as an interesting level for me. We'll save that. And for ES here, let us get this level 670697. Yeah, so basically where we kind of broke out here. Oh no, that's in the morning, so I'll have to see. No, that was basically pre-market before we shot up in Monday morning there, yesterday morning. So there you go, synced. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll look at that later. So nothing too surprising there. Didn't really check out anything on all of this, but I guess what I'm interested in right now is, let's see, for the Qs. So more bearish flow here. If we do things that are expiring in the next week, let's see how we think expiry in 1 week. So it's more bullish on the Qs. So we're thinking this week will be more bullish. Bearish on the SPY, which is interesting. Let's look at the biggest premium, 650. So no $1 million bets. And then the Qs, no $1 million bets expiring in the next week. But we have this pretty big one here, I guess, above 610. So nothing like high conviction, big money. So I think we'll kind of see how things shake out there. I guess we'll just look at what the charts are looking like here. So we'll look at the indexes before we hop into all the things. Yeah, so pretty interesting. Yesterday looking at things, we had broke above here, and then it was really watching this high of Thursday, which we broke, and we just kept going up and up and up. NQ is the closest one to all-time highs. Didn't quite get there pre-market, and so now the question is, do we get that push in the morning, break above, and then what do we do? If we break above, do we hold or do we fall over? I've seen people say on social media, maybe it's like one more sweep before you fall over again. I think that's very possible, so we'll see. I think, yeah, NQ is leading us, so we'll just have to really watch how NQ behaves there. So we'd be watching the highs and the low of pre-market and just see what we do. I mean, if we break above, be cautious. If we hold above there, then maybe we can go to the next round number, which is what, 25,500, right? And then there's probably fib extensions and all that stuff. If we can't hold above, then, I mean, there's a lot more to go down, but I think there's a lot of support and a lot of volume traded around here. So we'll just kind of see. Price is looking up, just, the way things look. And you look at the VIX here, we are cooling. We are just cooling off. All the fear is cooling off here. So there you go. US dollars picking back up. So not necessarily, I mean, still down, but, picking back up. But we have the Treasury yield notes still eking lower. So that's interesting. Ooh, gold. So we are trying. We can't break this 4395 level. So this is interesting for me. Again, everybody's saying, why can't gold reach 20,000 if Bitcoin can reach 120,000 and all that? These are the first two really big down days on this big tear up since September. Big down, tried to push up. So pushed up, made a new high, big down, tried to make a new high, couldn't break it, closed green, tried to make a new high, broke down, swept the low of that. So now, really, it's, what do we do here? So gold, I'm watching. Yeah, I'm always more short bearish, but I feel like maybe there could be some cooling. So it could be interesting to keep an eye on gold here. So I will keep an eye on that. Well, but definitely just watching the NQ today, just because we are closer to the all-time highs. And so for me also, like, if we might sweep all-time highs with NQ and fall over. Like, if that happens, I would bet that ES doesn't make the all-time high, but we fail at all-time highs. And I think in there, I would have to decide which is the better short if I were going to go for the short. But if we break above and hold, I think the stronger long would be in the NQ. So we'll just kind of see how that shakes out. And then for the mega tech here, wow, look at that. Totally missed out on Apple. So we finally broke that high. We were poised, we were trying to do it, had that dump, and we finally did it. That's amazing. So that's pretty bullish. I mean, we're down 24 cents from that close, but that is bullish for sure. Microsoft coiling back up, breaking above, so we will see. Amazon looks like boom, we held that low and we're pushing back up. In pre-market, we're gapping up like $1. So that looks bullish. Google looks bullish, like we eked out the high there on Thursday and we closed green, a little bit lower, 50 cents lower in the pre-market. Apple and Google look strong. Microsoft, Amazon looks like we want to turn. So there you go. Meta looks like we want to turn and we are coming out of this little pocket of kind of sideways action. So let's see if we break out. Nvidia trying, like all these red days, had this nice green day. Strong candle, closed red though, but pre-market we're up about at 60 cents. So that's cool, or 40 cents, I guess. Or maybe that's 50 cents. Anyways. And in Tesla, we have earnings tomorrow, right? And so now we're poised up. So, I don't know what the option prices are now. I feel like maybe it might be expensive because earnings is right there, but it's just something to watch. That is something to watch. And the Qs are the Qs. So Apple and Google got me thinking, we're there. We're breaking highs. We are breaking highs on these two big names. Just see how that pans up. There's a lot of upside for Meta, a lot of upside for Microsoft. We'll have to really see how Tesla does on earnings. Nvidia looks like it wants to come to life. Amazon's fighting back. I don't know. Apple and Google are leading us up. So open to more upside. I don't know how far we go, but open to more upside. We just have to kind of see. And let's look at the Super SPY. So Super SPY, we got the Broadcom trying to hang out above this. EMA closing red. Berkshire just kind of coiling here. JP Morgan Chase coming back to life here after bouncing off of the support from earnings. Broke out there a little bit. So let's see if it keeps going up. LOY looks like it's coming back after that sell-off there. Visa, sideways action, but still up. Netflix, pre-market, we're up, going into earnings today. So let's see how that plays out. Costco kind of still hanging out here. Didn't close this gap like I thought. So we're just holding up on this EMA. So that's interesting. And then the SPY is the SPY. So obviously the mega tech are much stronger, which are carrying the NQ and also the SPY as well. All these other names look a little bit more sideways, but not weak. So they don't look super, super strong, but they don't look weak either. So I think NQ, if anybody's going to push us up, it will be the NQ. So definitely open to that. Maybe I need to shake off any notion of, okay, we're going to fall over when we hit all-time highs. We could just break out. So like I said, I'm very short bearish naturally. I think it's just gravity potentially. But I need to really be eyes wide open in what's happening with price, trade what I see, not what I think. And so have to be open to more upside. We're like with everything happening in the world, the market's up. So, that's just what's happening. Okay. So if we look at the trading chart here, so if we look at the, is this electronic trading hours and the hourly here? So it's interesting, like we've kind of hit all this imbalance levels from that sell-off that last Friday on the ES, and we've hit it all. We've kind of eked back up to it. And so now it's just a matter of what do we do at this point? And it feels, we've been holding up, especially since these imbalance levels here at the 640s and just been going up. So we've kind of gotten all that back. And if you were still short here, right, like you're now in the red or break even type of thing. And so it's just a matter if we can kind of keep eking up here. So that's something I will be keeping an eye on. And I guess we could look at what the NQ looks like on this hourly as well. Yeah, and so same thing, but we actually broke above all of this on the Qs with some imbalance here to kind of push us up, holding a support here, and we're kind of going back up. So I think if we can clear this where it looked like people bought here aggressively at this top before we fell over. And so I don't know if they're still hanging on, if they're trapped. But if we can significantly get above this 25,375 level, then I feel like we go. So let's just see how things pan out there. on that chart. And yeah, just kind of showing everything on the 5 minute. It's the same, it's kind of the same story here. I mean, I trade on the 1 minute, but it just looks better on the screen with the 5 minute and higher time frames. So that's kind of what I'll be watching. This is regular trading hours. We are basically, so here's the thing, we're opening kind of more or less where we've closed. And so for me, it's really about how volume opens up at this point. Like if we're going to open up green or red, I think that's the bias that I'll have for the first hour, and we'll kind of see. But I think I could potentially see a sell off. You know, we ended the day red on the CVDs and red on the hourly CVD. So if that continues red, you see kind of this low pocket area, low volume pocket area. If we break the low, maybe we flush down to these levels, these levels. This is VWAP if you calculate it including electronic trading hours, right? So 25/20s or so, 25/40s to 25/10s, so 25/20s, 25/30s, you know. Could be a super long if it gets down there quick, but if we hold above here and volume supports it, maybe we go up. So let's see. I think if we push up fast into these levels, like this 25,392, and you know, I will watch it and just see if we fall over or not. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, if you zoom out, like prices in the last couple of days, it's up, right? And we've kind of broken past all this breakdown level, and we've held up really good. So we'll just kind of see what happens in the morning. Have to be open to the longs. I want the short, but I have to be open to the longs. And for the ES, it's a little bit weaker. So the thing is, if there is a short and NQ does look weak, I think I would take the short in ES. But if NQ looks strong and we get above those levels, like I was showing, I think the long would be at NQ. So we will see how things pan out. That's just kind of my read this morning. We'll see if any news or tweets happen, and we'll just kind of take it from there. Yeah, so that's it for me. Good luck and don't get caught. Thank you.